Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Angelica and this is the Angelica Unfiltered channel where I talk about weight loss, health, wellness, and fat acceptance. I'm like so annoyed just thinking about talking about this subject. A reel came upon my feed the other day. It is like 10 weeks old, so it is kind of old news, but it's still very relevant, so I wanted to talk about it. I really don't use TikTok that much besides for my business, so I am so shocked about like the fat acceptance rhetoric coming onto Instagram. I mean, I know like some existed, but I feel like it's becoming more and more prevalent on my feed. And I usually don't engage in fat acceptance stuff, but it slowly comes onto my feed. I don't know if it's because I follow a lot of people going through like their weight loss journey or fitness journey and stuff, because a lot of stuff goes hand in hand, or maybe Instagram just knows I'm fat, so they're pushing fat acceptance on me. Before we get into this, if you like my necklace or my shirt, let me scooch back. The necklace is from my small business, Rebirth Jewelry. You can use code YouTube10 to save 10% off. And this shirt is from another small business called 3 Bird Nest. So if you want to check out their website, you can use code 𝒁𝒾𝓃𝑔 to save 10% off. So let's watch this reel.
No one has ever said that weight loss is fatphobic.
False. Many people in the fat acceptance community have stated that weight loss, specifically intentional weight loss, is fatphobic. Here are some clips of people saying that.
So, intentional weight loss, so you purposely saying, I want to lose 20 pounds, is fatphobic.
Intentional weight loss is not a body positive act.
And he's right. It's not a body positive act.
Big buckets of reasons why someone might engage in intentional weight loss. All of those are rooted in fat phobia in different ways. First, desirability. That is kind of the most obvious when it comes to fat phobia. We currently live in a society that uplifts thinness, able-bodiedness, whiteness, cisness, and heterosexuality as the things that are most desirable. And so if you are wanting to lose weight in order to become more desirable, you are upholding a fat phobic beauty standard, as well as, white supremacy.
But having a superiority complex because you're existing in a smaller body now is very fatphobic.
That is projection. Where in that post, with that very limited text, did that creator say that they are better now that they're thin than then when they were fat?
Have body autonomy, you can do what you want with your own body. I scroll through your videos, the majority of them are about your weight loss. Your attitude towards fat people now that you lost weight is super uncool and harmful. No one's faulting you because you lost weight. It's always been the underlying message.
So to go back, the first picture of this creator, her name is Alex. I've known of her for a couple years. Weight loss is fat phobic and harmful to the fat community, which is in quotes. Alex was in the fat acceptance community a couple years ago, which I was also, which is why I make videos like this, and people do say stuff like this. So I feel like either the person making the content or the commentary does not know that or is lying and making Alex look bad. When I saw this reel for the first time, it just got me so motherfucking heated. So Alex is the one that's in the smaller part of the video, and I've been following her for a couple years because not only does she do like influencer stuff, she also owns a small clothing business, and a lot of it is catering to plus size people or curvy people, specifically like people with like wider hips and thick thighs. I have followed her throughout the last couple years. To be honest, at the beginning of the year I was like really jealous of everything that she's doing because she is successful and she has lost so much weight. So for a couple months there I did unfollow her until I started my own weight loss journey and realized that I was projecting my own insecurities onto her. I followed her and she actually followed me after I got canceled this summer. This person claims that Alex only talks about weight loss and is degrading her fat former self. So let me scroll back to when she posted that video and then we can scroll through and look at what in reality she has posted, because I don't know if the original content creator, the dietitian, purposely misconstrued what Alex posts or if they actually did not look at all. Okay, so here's Alex's original post, 1.7 million views, and then she has a long caption talking about how she did it and she's promoting some PDF or something. So since she's posted that video, let's go ahead and look at the other stuff she's posted. This is her talking about some leggings. Here is her making some food. Here's a weight loss reel. It says, everyone want to know what I did if I didn't choose my health instead of pleasing strangers.
What I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
And it says, I guess we'll never know because she did pursue weight loss and prioritized her health. I could see people reading this caption of hers and not believing that people would be so upset about her losing weight, because in the fat acceptance community, so many people preach about how intentional weight loss is fat phobic and you don't have to lose weight to be healthy. And a lot of people will give you slack for losing weight, even though it is for your health. Oh, here's one caption that's 11 weeks ago. It says, what strangers would be telling you not to lose weight? And then actually I commented, people in the fat acceptance community. And this, someone says, it's not that. It's amazing that you're losing weight. It's the fact that your entire account is dedicated to losing weight and how to lose weight when the majority of people followed you because you make clothes for career women. People on the internet just like don't want to see people evolve and change at all. If you're stuck in that mindset, that's fine, but I think it's so annoying that people try to push that onto other people. So let's go see what else she's posted. Her talking about being married young instead of dating, her talking about some jean shorts she made, her talking about her clothing brand, her doing like a little weight loss thing, nothing problematic at all, her talking about eczema. This is another clothing brand post. Here's her just feeling herself, nothing wrong with that. This is just another post about clothing, 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 clothing. Her going to a Peloton class, more clothing. Okay, here's this one. If you want to lose weight sustainably, then you have to do this one thing. Read the caption. Her just promoting a PDF, you know. Girl has a business, you can't blame her. Going on a brand trip, cool, it's awesome for her. Her having a non-scale victory, which is fucking awesome. College, her brand, more clothing. Her talking about living in Austin, clothing, clothing, clothing. Oh, this is a clothing haul. You know, losing weight, especially such a substantial amount of weight. Alex says that she's lost 110 pounds. That is life-changing. And I don't think it's a bad thing that she's talking about her life, because she is very much so like a lifestyle influencer. But if you like take a step back, I mean, I'm not sure how many reels we just watched. I would assume we probably did like 10, 15. How many was that about weight loss? Less than 5. That's less than a third. Like, you would think that every single thing that she's posted was about weight loss, and it wasn't. And even if it was, like, it's her fucking page. She can post about whatever she wants. The same way you and I can. Like, just because you followed someone for some reason doesn't mean that they're not allowed to change.
But also at the same time, when Alex started making content on social media, it was about being plus size or being in the fat acceptance movement. So it makes sense that as her life continued to change and she lost weight, then she would talk about losing weight and her lifestyle changes, because her body has always kind of been a focal pillar in making content. I feel like so many followers feel like very entitled to a certain type of content creation, and if a creator starts to stray away from that, they get very upset. I don't think that we should be telling people what they are allowed to make, especially as a creative or a content creator. Like, for example, I really fell in love with Post Malone in like 2015, and I kind of like religiously followed him for a long time until he started getting into more rock and country type music. Then my interest of him has kind of dwindled, but you don't see me leaving him a bunch of hate comments talking about how I would like for him to get back into rap. I just respect his new career choice, and I have found other artists to listen to. Like, I feel like we just demand so much more out of female creatives or content creators, especially as other women. Like, we almost force them to be in a certain box. Like, I see so many men losing weight, whether that's content creators or like celebrities, and almost everything being said about them is positive. Like, I just think that we as women need to reevaluate how we speak about other women and their life choices.
And I also want to emphasize, like, there's literally nothing degrading about her past self in any of these. If anything, like, it just talks about her evolving and changing. Nowhere did she say anything about fat people. And a lot of people say that they followed Alex because she has this curvy-friendly clothing brand, and her brand is very size inclusive. I have a few pieces from her brand. I think they go up to like a 4X, I want to say. I'll leave a note if I'm wrong. But she still is catering to curvy people, and even if she is not obese or overweight now, like, she still is curvy. Like, she has really nice big hips. I'm jealous. Like, I wish I had the Coke bottle shaped body, you know what I mean? Like, even if she has lost a significant amount of weight, she is curvier, and she is wearing her own clothes that she makes. I don't know why people have changed the meaning of curvy to just being fat. Like, people can be curvy without being obese, and clearly Alex is someone that is curvy and no longer overweight. I guess one other thing that extra pisses me off about this is Alex has talked a lot about how she decided to lose weight and take her health seriously because her and her husband want to start having children soon. And I feel like that is extremely responsible, and people should admire that about her, because not only is she thinking about her health, thinking about her future self and her health, because you want to be healthy and live a long life to take care of your children, but also if you are pregnant and obese, there are side effects. Like, there can be side effects of your obesity on the baby. But of course, no one's talking about that. No one's talking about how she wants to have children and the downside of having obesity. It's just like she's deemed as fat phobic. While my anger started with that first video that dietitian made, I started scrolling and watching some of other videos, and I thought it'd be good to go and react to those because I just find them equally as irritating. And this content creator is a dietitian. I want to say that I am not a dietitian. I have my bachelor's degree in psychology, but I feel like at this point I'm like an expert at debunking fat acceptance rhetoric, so that is my criteria for making these videos.
The obesity epidemic. I'm not concerned. Here's why. I'm Abby, a weight-inclusive dietitian, bringing you the facts on science and nutrition. If you're interested, give me a follow. Epidemic refers to the often sudden increase in the number of cases of disease above what's normally expected in the population.
Okay, correct. But I feel like that is misleading. I'll let her continue.
Obesity refers to the BMI scale, which we know is flawed and was never meant to measure health. BMI was developed way back in the 1830s and has gone through multiple changes since then. Its roots are based in eugenics and only got its information from cis white European men.
She is hitting every fat acceptance piece of rhetoric nail on the head. The fat acceptance people probably fucking love her.
With the whole premise of just determining the ideal man. Now, in the present day, insurance companies use BMI to determine coverage. Doctors use it to determine care and if they want to take on a patient. BMI is also affected by the lobbying of weight loss companies. Then in 1998, the US National Institutes of Health lowered the BMI cutoffs. The overweight threshold went from 27.8 to 25.
I went ahead and looked, and the difference is like 10 to 15 pounds. And it's like, so if you are extremely morbidly obese, like me, I weigh 211. If the BMI changed by 10 pounds, whether that went up or down, I would still be considered obese. Like, it's not like it changed 50 pounds and made like everyone in the country obese. Like, I mean, technically, if you are overweight, then that's unhealthy, so those people should consider losing weight. Why is the medical industry not allowed to change things? Like, why are they not allowed to do more research? Like, why is that a bad thing? Maybe they did some sort of research that showed that, yeah, actually, these people were technically normal weight, but actually, according to these new measurements, they would be overweight. Like, why does that make the health industry bigots? Like, they just bettered their research and came up with a new conclusion.
Yes, we have data showing that obese people have gotten fatter since the 70s.
Okay, correct, because there was like little to none obese people in the 70s.
Overall, weight has been relatively stable for all populations over the past several years.
I wonder what she even means by that, because like, what does having a stable weight mean? Because if we look at literally any graph, the obesity rates have skyrocketed compared to especially compared to the 70s.
Summarize, weight and health are correlated, not causal. You cannot die from fatness alone.
Yeah, but you can die from the fatness suffocating your lungs so you can't breathe, or it can give someone a heart attack, but you can die because of what fatness does to your body.
Person becomes thin through weight loss, this does not automatically give them the same health outcomes as a thin person.
Correct, because if you were obese for a very long period of time, your body may reap the consequences of them. Like mentioned before, my dad was 450 pounds when I was in middle school. Even though he's lost 200 pounds, he now has a limp because he needs a hip replacement because of all the weight that was put on his bones. Same thing happens for people that have osteoarthritis. Even though they lose weight, they can still have health problems. But it's good that people have lost weight and got rid of that fatness because it will help their health. Of course, it'd be better if someone was never obese, but it's better from someone to go from obese to normal weight. Just how like if someone was a smoker their whole life and they stopped smoking, like they could still, like those carcinogens could have done a number on their lungs and given them cancer.
Fat is not a moral failure. Health,
where did anyone say that?
Health is not a moral virtue.
Health is not a moral virtue.
Healthy and unhealthy exist at all weight, shapes, and sizes.
When people say shit like that, people that are severely obese, they say, people can be healthy or unhealthy at any way. All right, that means I'm probably fine. People have such confirmation bias that they would rather feed into their own delusion rather than like go to the doctor and see what's going on with their body. All right, as if I don't have a headache already.
The reason why you're fat or why you cannot lose the weight is because you cannot stop fucking eating.
True, because if you're obese, it's because you ate too much. The fat on our bodies is literally stored calories because we overate and our body did not know what to do with those calories. That is the laws of thermodynamics.
It doesn't matter if you go to the gym 24/7. It doesn't matter if you have the most perfect meal plan. If you cannot control.
I think she's so fucking cringy. I can't with these dances, like just trying to be like quirky and make light of a very serious situation.
I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Shaming people for the way that they eat is never helpful.
Sometimes people need to be shamed because there are so many people feeding the delusions that people have in the fat acceptance community. They need to be woken up.
And why is that, you ask? One, you're giving food moral value, which is inherently making you feel good or bad when you're eating a good or bad food.
She did not say that in her video. She said you can't stop fucking eating. You could weigh 300 pounds and you could have done that from eating McDonald's, or you could have done that by overeating bananas every single day. Bananas are technically healthy foods, but if you overconsume even healthy foods and you're having just too many calories, then you're gonna gain weight. It doesn't matter if it's good, bad, evil, heavenly, neutral food.
But here's the thing about diets and telling people to not eat certain foods. It makes us want to eat them that much more, and it just perpetuates the shame cycle. If I could do a cartwheel, I would do a cartwheel.
There's people that are dying.
Like, I'm not amused. Like, stop trying to make this a funny subject. It's not a fucking funny subject. Being obese literally kills people. It kills so many fucking people in the United States. I understand that people have like defiance issues and try to rebel against authority, but if I did not like something and it was deemed as a bad food, then I wouldn't eat it. Like if you were like, Burger King is evil and bad, I wouldn't go out and eat Burger King. I'd be like, all right, well, I don't care because I don't really eat Burger King that much. People are overweight because they usually overeat the things that they love.
Because we're human, we inevitably eat that bad food, and then we tell ourselves, oh, I don't have willpower, I'm so bad for doing this, I feel so much guilt. Well, diet starts on Monday.
I do think it's an issue of willpower, because if you struggle with something so badly in your life, like overeating or alcoholism or any sort of substance or gambling addiction, that is on your mind literally 24/7. And it's not an accident that you take a sip of beer or you go down to the casino or you drive through the McDonald's drive-thru. These are all actions. And while I understand how hard it can be, because I also struggle with impulse control because I have ADHD, but it just feels like such a fucking cop-out to be like, it's not a willpower issue. Well, what is it then? No one is holding your mouth open like this, like a hungry hippo and throwing down McDoubles, are they? No. None of us are being forced to eat against our will, I promise you.
Having a craving. Try to put off that craving and then, oh my god, I can't do it anymore. I gotta have that food. I gotta have it or else. Have that food, but it...
And guess what? If you do slip up, that's fine. Recently someone commented in one of my videos saying, it's okay if you slip up, just make sure it doesn't turn into a slide. If you fuck up and you have a whole carton of ice cream for breakfast, well, guess what? You can start again and have a good meal at lunch. Not to go all AA on y'all, but you know, one day at a time. If you can't take it one day at a time, take it 1 hour at a time. If you can't take it 1 hour at a time, take it 1 minute at a time. If you can't even do that, then take it 1 second at a time. The consistency is what matters. Insert one of my favorite videos from Beth Fitness on Instagram.
I forgot to brush my fucking teeth this morning. Might as well start over on Monday. Or I can actually go inside the house right now and brush them. And then I'm right back on track with my healthy habits. You see, there's no reason to start over on Monday when you could just get right the fuck back on track. Okay, bye.
I gotta have that food. I gotta have it or else. Have that food, but it turns into a binge because I feel so out of control with food and so much guilt and shame. Then I come on the internet trying to find a funny cat video because the world is burning and I need to laugh.
Losing weight should be about balance, not restricting yourself, so you go ahead and binge. Sustainable weight loss happens when you are eating in a calorie deficit, when you are working out, when you are properly hydrating yourself and getting enough hours of sleep. This is changing your whole life. It's not just restricting your food intake. But of course, how much you're eating is the most important part. But no one is saying that you have to deprive yourself to the point of creating uncontrollable cravings and binges, because most professionals will tell you that, you know, you have to create this healthy life that you are supposed to live for the rest of your life, because that is how you have sustainable weight loss. This is something that you have to do for the rest of your life. Just like how you're gonna have to overeat and intake too many calories to gain weight, you know, it's the same thing. We have to do this forever. You have to figure out a way that you can enjoy the things that you like, but still lose weight. For example, I've been craving cereal so bad. So yesterday I bought a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and I know that just having a bowl of cereal isn't going to hold me over, so I had my 1 cup of Cinnamon Toast Crunch with my Fairlife milk. I drank another half cup of Fairlife milk with that so I could get in more protein, because Fairlife milk has a lot of protein. And then I went ahead and had 2 string cheeses because that was easy, and that also had a lot of protein. I didn't feel the need to eat the whole bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch because I satisfy my cravings very regularly. If I want something sweet, I'll have something sweet. If I know me and my fiance are going to have pizza for dinner, I'll make sure that I have a very healthy beginning of the day and stay very tight with calories, because I know I'm gonna have 3 slices of Papa John's sausage pizza, and that's gonna be 980 calories. Like, it's just making better and informed decisions. You don't have to starve yourself. You don't have to take away all the delicious, yummy food from life. And that's what pisses me off about, like, you know, the 95% of diets fail. Yeah, well, they fail because you did it so extreme and you weren't trying. Like, I feel like people just use that as an excuse to never try again, when you can just pick yourself up by your bootstraps and try again. Someone commented on one of my videos recently saying, like, well, how many percent of relationships fail? Do people stop dating? No, because a lot of people want to get married, so they continue to go on crappy dates until they find the person that they want to spend the rest of their life with. You know, just because there's a failure rate doesn't mean you can't acknowledge the success rate, even if it is very small.
But instead I see videos like this of you telling me, don't eat this is why you're ugly and you're fat and you suck and you need to do this stuff. Oh my god, I almost just died. Yeah, basically diets are the worst.
What I really can't stand is that so many of these fucking dietitians online, especially the HAES ones, you know, health at every size, they're always skinny. They're always thin. It just drives me crazy. Like, you know, if it's so fine to be fat, why don't you just gain a bunch of weight and see how you feel? Because then, you know, you can have a new perspective on Alex's videos, even though you said she was fat phobic. Go ingrain yourself in the fat acceptance community and the plus size community and realize how normalized obesity has come, and then go lose weight. And then I want you to see how much your life changes and how much your perspective changes. Not only her, and then there's that other dietitian named Abby that was like congratulating the mom for feeding her fucking kids only powdered donuts.
I'm an obese dietitian and I need to say my piece. Mom, you're doing a great job. Your sweet girl here has been given some energy to start her day, and sadly, that is more than we can say for a lot of other kids.
They are just pandering to obese people. And, you know, you really have to think about why people post online, because everyone has a narrative. Everyone is doing something for a reason. I post these videos because I want to help people escape the fat acceptance movement, but also help people that are, you know, my size and trying to lose weight. I want to be able to discuss weight loss and health and wellness and fat acceptance community with like-minded people. But also at the same time, I would like to make a few dollars from this because I have credit card debt I would like to pay off, and I would like to buy a house sooner than later. And you have to apply that for every single video that you see online. While I want to post videos to help people with their weight loss and health and stuff like that, I also want you guys to start thinking critically about what you see online. Just don't take anything at face value, because when I see this dietitian or Abby or most online dietitians who are thin, most of the times when someone is a dietitian and they were previously overweight, you will see that in a lot of their posts. Like Beth Fitness that I've talked about a lot, she talks about how she was overweight and was suffering with alcoholism. And so many of these dietitians, they only are just posting this like fat acceptance pandering rhetoric. And I will assume, I know that may make me incorrect, but these people have never been overweight. They don't know the struggle of being overweight. And I assume they also don't have any immediate family that has also been overweight, because they would understand the struggles and the pain that being overweight, specifically obese, even more specifically severely morbidly obese, the struggles of someone super morbidly obese. But hey, you know, health at every size. You could be healthy at every shape and size, guys. It doesn't matter if you look like fat bastard. He can be healthy, even though there's so much adipose tissue on his body that it's causing him problems to breathe and now has a heart murmur. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, to think that these people go to school and they're dietitians. Did they forget what they learned, or they just don't care because they post these videos in hopes to get fat, obese people online to go be their client? And then when they have these meetings with these overweight people, they are not telling them that they need to lose weight. They are not giving them any sort of critique about their lifestyle. I know she's probably posting to get people to go to her website and become her clients so she can be their dietitians, but also think about, you know, she does this for views. And if you get so many views, you get paid to make videos. So on Instagram, not everyone has this, but it is available to some, called Instagram's bonus reels. And depending on how many views you get some money. Same thing with YouTube and TikTok. Not only that, if they continue to get so many followers and they get a lot of good views, then brands are going to reach out to them and want to collab. So that is 3 different ways that this person could be making money. And I'm not faulting them for making money because we all have to survive. We all have bills to pay. But I feel like it's not coming from a good place. Because if you genuinely cared about fat people and people's health, no matter their shape or size, then you should take a step back and look at our society. I mean, there's so many different fucking statistics now. I recently heard 67% of Americans are obese. And there are so many problems with being obese. Please. I can't. And I still have a couple videos to go over.
Hey babe, not sure if anyone's told you this lately, but the more you try to fix yourself, the more you're gonna find to fix.
Why does she keep doing the Chick-fil-A girl face? I'm gonna start doing that when she pisses me off. It's like pulling teeth. I can't watch it. I mean, I understand the sentiment of that because we can be very harsh on ourselves. This just reminds me of like how much plastic surgery people get nowadays. It's not like you just get lip filler. It's, well, now I need Botox. But wait, now I notice that there's a giant hump in my nose. Oh, now I'm getting old and my eyelids are saggy. Let me do a fox eye look. And you know, looking at yourself so often, you just find more flaws in yourself. I almost feel like people get like plastic surgery body dysmorphia, like they can't see what they actually look like when they see in the mirror. If we leave that kind of conversation and talk about having enough self-reflection and being able to see like, oh, I have problems and I need to fix those. Like, that is not a bad thing. If someone realizes, oh, I'm an alcoholic, I should probably change. They get sober. Oh, now that I'm sober, I realize I've been kind of an asshole to everyone in my life. All right, let me fix those relationships with them. Oh, now that I've realized I stopped drinking and I'm sober and the relationships are better in my life, I just checked my credit card statements and that's a lot more than I thought it was, so let me go pay off that debt. Okay, now that that's over, you know, I've been in this apartment for a while and I don't really like it, so I'm gonna work more hours to save up to buy a house. Like, there's nothing wrong with continuously trying to better yourself. And I don't know, I guess that quote can be perceived so many different ways, but there's nothing wrong with bettering yourself. Another AA quote that I like, the Serenity Prayer. God help me to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. If you know that you are an asswipe, you can become a better person. If you do not like the fact that you have brown eyes, you need to accept that. And you need to be able to know that there is a difference. You know, I really love the idea of radical self-acceptance because we should be able to accept ourselves who we are as human beings, but after we accept ourselves, we're allowed to better those things. If you bring this over to fat acceptance says that we should love our fat bodies and embrace our fat bodies. And, you know, I feel like that's a good sentiment to love yourself, but you should love yourself enough to be able to better yourself. But the fat acceptance community just wants people to stay fat and get fatter.
Did they have brains or knowledge? Don't make me laugh. They were popular. Right!
I know there is that trend that it's like, is the outfit cute or is she just skinny? And it's like, I feel like we often forget like who the fuck is in the outfit because yeah, while Bella Hadid is like super skinny, she's also Gorgina. She's also known for having cool style. So anything that she wears would be perceived as cute or fashionable or trendy. Like, it's very like multifaceted. And again, it's like she's making this video to pander at overweight people because usually the people that make the videos that are like, is it cute or is she skinny? They're usually usually mid-size or plus size, so it's like she's trying to cater to overweight people. And it's like, she's skinny. I feel like these thin dietitians are like starting to create a stigma against being thin. And of course they like being thin because there are so many good things that come with being thin, but they are constantly posting stuff that would make fat people feel better about themselves. I feel like that sounds harsh, but...
Can you go over types of processed food? Yeah, babe, let's do it. Wellness grifters have made this into a very scary word. I feel like they picture some witch over a cauldron, like dousing all these chemicals and stuff into the food, and the witch is like, processing. It's literally just some bro in the grocery store just chopping up some watermelon. All of our food is processed in some form or another. This does not mean it was doused in chemicals. Cutting, washing, heating, pasteurization, canning, cooking, freezing, drying, dehydrating, and mixing. Processing can also include adding in nutrients, flavors, salt, sugar, fats, preservatives. Your little veggie tray that you get at the grocery store, that's processed. Your gluten-free products are processed. But the funniest thing is that the people that hate on processed foods and fearmonger them are the same people that are drinking alcohol and taking supplements. Supplements are highly processed. Any vitamins that you take, any mineral, protein powders, energy drinks, pre-workout, gluten-free foods are processed. Greens powder. Just because diet culture in the wellness community has deemed this an okay food does not mean that it's not processed. And I'm not saying that any of these foods are good versus bad. I'm just making sure we're all clear on what processed foods really are. Processing can be a very good thing for many different reasons. When you pasteurize, cook, and dry, this inhibits bacteria growth. Additives like emulsifiers preserve the texture of foods so that it's not separating the liquid and solids. Processed foods can have a lot of added nutrients in them to prevent nutrition deficiency. More accessible, more affordable, longer shelf life. When dietitians say that it's okay to have processed foods in your diet, we're not saying to eat chips and cookies all day, every single meal. We're saying that it's okay and encouraged to have a variety of foods in your diet.
While this video is true for the most part, I feel like it is just so deceiving because when most people think of processed foods, they think of hyper-processed foods, and like the examples that she's giving just feels like about processed food. And when most people talk about processed food, you know what they're talking about. They're talking about fucking Cheetos and Oreos. I found this one picture we can talk about. I feel like what she was talking about in her video is like minimally processed or processed food. So in the first category we have corn, and then corn can turn into canned sweet corn. I'm sorry. Corn can also be turned into a corn chip, which is ultra processed. Potatoes. Potatoes can be a baked potato, which is, you know, technically processed because it was cooked and cleaned, but it could also be french fries. You know, like there is a variety of ways that food can be processed, and I feel like the way she just explained it is trying to make people feel like their decisions are good or they're not making any bad dietary decisions. Just talking about how, you know, like buying cut up watermelon at the store is processed. It's like, yeah, but like that's not like what people are talking about. When people think processed foods, they're thinking about like the frozen dinner meals that are ultra processed. I just feel like it's deceptive, and you know, people are going to hear this and be like, oh, well, it's just processed. Like the company just added vitamins and preservatives so it could last longer. It's like, no, like Cheetos got some other things in it, okay? Red Hot Cheetos, they got some things in it.
I just feel like she purposely did not go over the difference between minimally processed, processed, and ultra processed food. Like there's a huge difference like between buying a pre-diced onion and then like French onion dip.
And you know, these ultra processed foods are not good for you at all. Like there is a difference between lunch meat being processed, and then there is a difference between a Lunchable. All right, last one, as if this video is not long enough.
Ultra-processed foods are the reason why 93% of Americans are metabolically unhealthy.
A recent study just came out showing that food-like products like this are the main driver of chronic disease.
Mama, a real food behind you.
I can't. Stop trying to make it funny. It's not funny.
On earth do we think it's helpful to just go into the grocery stores and just say, this entire wall of food is poison, don't eat it? Because that's all they did in that video. They didn't offer a single piece of information as to why they think that it's poison. But newsflash, it's not. Now, y'all always get it twisted on these apps. I am not saying that you should eat these foods all day, every single meal. But what I am saying is that food is not morally good or bad.
They did not say food was evil or heavenly. They said that this is poison. And well, I feel like that may be like a small exaggeration, but also at the same time, like you can have little sips of poison and have it slowly kill you over time. We know that ultra processed food can cause diabetes, heart problems, cancer, the same way that, you know, technically alcohol is considered a poison, but people still drink it. Doesn't mean it's good for you.
I don't know why y'all get pissed at me when I say your genetics, where you live, your social environment.
This is so fat acceptance coded.
Finances, support system, income, access to equitable healthcare, and so much more is so much more important than the food you're actually eating. Because when someone says this food is toxic, all I want to do is... Why are we not talking about why most Americans can only afford processed foods?
I am so fucking sick of hearing that. I did a pickup order at Walmart a couple days ago. A 8-pound sack of potatoes, originally $3.14, on sale for $2.84. I have never seen a fucking bag of potato chips the same price. I see potato chips that are fucking $9 now. And guess what? With that 8 pounds of potatoes, I could make homemade chips. I mean, it would be annoying and very time consuming, but people eat ultra processed foods because it's convenient, because it's easier to eat an Oreo than it is to hand make cookies. If you can hand make your own cookies, control the ingredients, and you can make it less calorically dense and healthier for you. People are fucking lazy, and that's why they're eating the hyper processed foods. It's not a point of money, because guess what? I could go down to the Dollar Tree and get a can of green beans for $1.25. Of course, it's cheaper if I went to Aldi. It's probably like 50 cents, because Dollar Tree is really not the best place to be buying food. But guess what? At Dollar Tree, everything's $1.25. So you can get some green beans or some pasta, or you could get a bag of knockoff Cheetos or pretzels or a giant Mountain Dew. These dietitians just avoid any sort of accountability for people.
Why are we not talking about food deserts and access to food and access to healthcare and so many other things?
Stop with the fucking trying to make things quirky, because it's not funny. Like, just the exaggeration of it is just so corny to me, because it's not a subject that I think should be taken lightly. And don't get me wrong, I think that it's fine to have jokes and, you know, you can be lighthearted at times, but like, it's just not necessary. Say you live in a food desert and the only place closest to you is McDonald's. The reason why you are overweight is because you're eating too many calories.
Kansas State University professor Mark Haub spent 10 weeks eating Twinkies, brownies, zebra cakes, and corn pops. He consumed no more, now this is important, he consumed no more than 1,800 calories a day. Haub did this to prove that in weight loss, what matters most is the total calories in the food you're eating, not the nutritional value. After 10 weeks, he was 27 pounds lighter and his bad cholesterol was down 20%.
There are tons of people, including myself, that still eat fast food that are losing weight. One of my favorite creators is Smaller Sam PCOS. She does fast food videos all the time, and she is losing weight. But guess what? You can choose what you eat at McDonald's. You can get French fries or apple slices. You can get a Big Mac or a salad. You could get a water instead of Coke. Mind blowing, I know, really crazy. They spew shit like this so people don't have to take any sort of accountability in their life. Of course, there are reasons why people can be sick, and there are reasons that people can't lose weight, or it's harder to lose weight because of whatever disorders and diseases they have. But a lot of things can be reversed or even go into remission if they change their lifestyle. If you have type 2 diabetes, it is because you ate yourself to type 2 diabetes. And guess what? If you change your lifestyle, cut down on the sugar and the carbs, you could reverse it or be in remission. But people would rather push big pharma, and they are given Ozempic to lose weight rather than being told to change what they eat. And I feel like if you tell people the truth, it just makes you seem like an asshole. Like, there's this guy I follow on YouTube called Alan Roberts. When I started watching him a couple months ago, I was like, God, this guy's a fucking asshole. He's so mean. And I just kept watching his videos and I'm like, no, he's literally just telling the truth. No one wants to hear the truth nowadays because, like Lizzo said, truth hurts. Taking accountability and being an adult is tough. If we take accountability and try to better ourselves, life can get better and you can become happier. This video turned out to be way longer than I was expecting it. Let me know all of your opinions down below. I would love to hear what you have to say. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like this video. And if you enjoyed me, make sure to subscribe. I hope you are having a great day. Take care. Peace.